Deablo, probably one of my favorite players drafted by the Raiders over this past few days. The Virginia Tech safety will convert into a weak side linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders. He will be asked to cover tight ends in the slot, defend the run within the box, and just be an overall force for the Raiders defense. In this video specifically, I want to analyze his tape and give you my thoughts on how he will transition to the NFL and what parts of his game I personally believe are top tier. Let's just jump right into the film. Now, I just mentioned that he's going to be a weak side linebacker for the Raiders, which means he'll be in the box, right? And here's something I kind of want to show you guys. You're going to see this play. Basically, the receiver here is going to just run a post route, and he's going to catch that. That's exactly where the quarterback's going to try to go to, and he's going to basically just play it as well. And just keep your eye on him and just look at the range. All right, look at how quickly he's able to turn around, and look at how he's able to make up ground basically by just how tall and lengthy he is, right? And I think that might be a part of his game that could be undervalued. He is 6'3", he's 225 pounds, so he's lengthy, right? And he can run, and that's the thing that really impresses me about Divine. The fact that he can run, the fact that he's rangy, he has the ability, and again, in the past specifically, he has played safety, right? He has played free safety, he has played linebacker, he's played on the line of scrimmage. He's done so many things already that it's just that much more impressive, man. Look at that right there. You get him, you see him getting his hands in the ball. Fantastic job by Divine, man. And again, I don't underestimate how big of a football player he is. He towers over basically everybody else. He is 6'3", which for a linebacker, that's about the right size. But again, he doesn't have linebacker speed. He has safety speed. So that's going to benefit him once he gets into the NFL. Let's look at some more plays. All right, guys, I want to jump into this play here and just give you guys my thoughts and opinions and give you guys two thoughts specifically. The first one I want you guys to think about is the fact that he's already in the box, right? This is kind of what he'll be doing once he's in the NFL. He'll be lined up over tight ends, which is exactly what he's kind of doing right now. And as the play begins, I'm going to go ahead and start the play. And you're going to see he's going to basically be taking on this left tackle, and I think that's the Carmen Jackson. Don't quote me on that, but I don't necessarily like the way he takes it on because I feel like he could have exploded through this tackle more. He kind of looks scared, in my opinion, to take this. Like he's kind of like backing away from contact. And he does get pushed back. Now I understand he's 225 and this lineman's probably 315, and that's gonna make a big difference. But again, I'm just showing you this one play because I'm trying to show you guys that he's gonna have to get ready to take these type of blocks on. Again, he is gonna play weak side linebackers, and if the defensive line does their jobs, he might not necessarily have to. Right, in a 4-3, it's all about gap control, right? So like in this instance, for example, he has to just contain this gap. Number 96 contains this gap, 38 has the outside. I believe this linebacker has this gap. If you all are able to just control your gap, the running back can't go anywhere. There's nowhere for the running back to go. And I guess in a sense he does do that, like he's right there, and I'm sure he's already seen that the running back has already been stopped, and maybe he lets up just a little bit. But let's jump forward and let's get into a couple other plays. I think there's a lot of good reps to go over. Here's another really good rep in my opinion. We talk about range, we talk about how quick Divine is. He's able to he's able to do a lot of different things, man. You guys watch this play right here and you tell me how quick you have to be able to run with a 4-3-4 wide receiver. I mean, you look at how he turns his hips, and he's quickly over the top. He's backpedaling, he's shifting his hips, going from right to left. That's very impressive, man. This receiver is basically going to run down the sideline, and he's going to just follow it. And the thing that's impressive to me is look at how he's running right now, and then watch him start backpedaling as he is right here. And you got to keep in mind, right? He's trying to help this other safety out. He's kind of trying to just see, okay, is the ball going to come? I need to make sure I can see if the ball's in the air. At the same time, watch him shift basically to his left. And then he's going to just turn back around. I mean, that's impressive, man. To be able to shift your hips the way he does right there. You ask a true safety to do stuff like that, not a linebacker. So with that, I do think that he's going to have a huge thought process conversion cycle going on. And do I think he's going to start and have an impact right away? He might not, right? I think he's going to have to learn to play within the box and really learn to understand his run fits and those type of things from a 4-3 linebacker perspective, right? Let's jump forward into another rep. All right, guys, here's another great rep. I laugh because it's so impressive the way he plays coverage. You look at him right here and basically you watch where he ends up and kind of what he's being asked to do. This is basically a cover 3. Let me go ahead and just back it up and draw it on the board for you guys. It's impressive because he is responsible for the deep third, right? You got this corner who's responsible for the 1/3, and this guy responsible for 1/3. This guy comes up to the flats. This guy has or I should say the curl flats, and then one of these backers, I'm not sure, drops back. The other backer ends up coming, so it's just a version of cover 3. But the fact that he's able to drop so far into his deep third, it again just shows you that range, right? This is Trevor Lawrence. This is Clemson that they're going up against. This is Clemson talent that they're playing, and they have that trust in him to get to that deep third and just play right there in the middle of the field. They have the confidence, man, that hey, if they're gonna take a shot into the middle of the field, this guy will get there. He has that type of ability, and that pumps me up, man. We've been struggling with tight ends, and him to be able to do that really pumps me up. All right, guys, here's a great play by Deablo. He's gonna intercept the pass here. Again, range, man. The Virginia Tech would put Deablo on one side of the field and have him range and just run to the opposite or cover the deep third. I mean, you look at this play right here, you see how he reads the eyes and he intercepts that pass. That right there is impressive, man. I don't know what to say about that play. Here he is. He's basically going to just come all the way around and read the eyes. If you watch Trevor Lawrence, Lawrence is going to essentially look to his right and then quickly come back to his left. And he just stares down that receiver on the left there. And it's intercepted. You watch this from the backside, and Lawrence had no clue. I mean, look at this. From this point on, he's just looking to his left. And he has no idea that the future Raider linebacker is on his way. He is on his way for an interception. And that right there, man, that's... I like that play right there, man. That's a beautiful play right there by Deablo. People have described his play style as a very rangy player, and I see it, man. I see it on film. It's clear. I really like where Deablo's at with his game so far. We watched this Clemson tape, and we'll jump forward. We'll watch the Miami game next. But man, he has range. Like, he's fast, he's quick, he's big, right? And I don't think that could be understated. He's going to be a good football player, man. I do think he has a couple things he needs to improve on, and we'll touch on those, right? I think as a linebacker, he's going to have to definitely work on a ton of things. But as a rangy football player in Gus Bradley's system, if Gus Bradley lets him play freely, I think he can be a fantastic football player. Jumping forward into the Miami versus Virginia Tech game, and of course, lastly, there's maybe one or two other tapes we'll get into. This play right here, if you guys look at it and you guys watch it, this is going to be a double end around, pitch back to the quarterback, and they're going to try to throw this to you. Just so you guys can see it from the start. The quarterback hands it off. The running back throws it back to the receiver, coming back around right there. And then the receiver pitches it to the quarterback. And the quarterback wants to throw this deep. And then he ends up kind of just throwing and dumping it off. But I want you guys to watch Deablo and look at the point where he understands that, okay, this is not only an end around, but this is about to be a pitch back to the quarterback. So there's the pitch to basically the second man. We'll just back it up. So the running back has it now, and Deablo recognizes that at this point it's about to come back on this end around here. And then Deablo starts shifting his hips to go back, and he's already recognizing, okay, the quarterback's dropping backwards. This is not only a pitch to the receiver's going to give it back to the quarterback, because at this point he's going to start running backwards. And you see him right there, and the pitch hasn't even happened yet, right? The receiver still has the ball that came back on the end round, and there's the pitch, and he's already running backwards because he knows, I have to get back into this zone here. Of course, the quarterback's gonna realize that this really isn't open, and he kind of just throws it to this guy up here. I just wanted to share this play with you guys because this is the second play of the game, and Deablo's already, in my opinion, recognizing things, right? He's already reading and understanding what the offense is basically trying to do, right? Let's jump into the next play and get into the next rep. All right, on this next rep, this is the 5th play of the game. You're going to see basically this is gonna be a run, and he's gonna come downhill. And as a linebacker, I need him to recognize these gaps a little bit quicker. And again, he's playing safety, so it might be a little bit different, but I need him to jump through this, explode through it, and stop number 23 in his tracks. I don't want him to kind of be conservative. I want him to be aggressive. And again, I'm only talking about it from that perspective because for our systems specifically, he's gonna have to understand that he's not a safety anymore. His responsibility is going to be that of a linebacker. And literally on the very next play, the 6th play of the game, he shows me something that I like. Now, he doesn't make the play, he doesn't do anything special, but he plays within a run fit, and this shows me that he gets it. We'll look at it from the end zone angle because it'll be easier for you guys to see him and just skip forward just a little bit. When you're playing defense, you guys have to understand, right? Especially as a linebacker, because when teams run stretch plays, right, the Niners do things like this all the time. As a defense and as a linebacker, he has to understand his responsibility. In this certain play, when there's a guy coming to block you, you have the outside containment because you have guys coming from the backside, right? You have a guy coming this way, you have a guy coming this way. There's nowhere for this running back to go. But if Deablo somehow ends up coming back to the inside and this guy ends up hooking him, this could be a touchdown, right? And I draw this up for you guys because even though this is, some people will say, okay, this is common, you have to understand this as a football player. It's not that common anymore. Players mess this up all the time. Players don't understand how box defense works. Players don't understand how to play within a team, within a scheme. And that's one of the things that I noticed right off the bat, right, is the fact that he gets it. He understands these type of concepts, and he does a fantastic job, especially taking on this tight end's block. Now, of course, he doesn't get off of it, but he basically has his left arm, and you guys can see that tight end's head kind of jerk backwards. That's because he's using his left arm to really get that extension on this tight end. That allows him to be free with his right shoulder and his right arm in case this running back tries to hit this to the outside. Of course, the running back doesn't. The running back's going to go right off the tail of that blocker. This is a nice play, man, and I know it doesn't look like a lot just looking at it, but for me, mentally, to understand that he gets it, it's a part of his game that I need to know that he understands. Because when him and Jonathan Abram are going to be out there to make a tackle together, I have to know that I can trust him to do his job. Let's just jump forward into the next play. Jumping into this next play, Deablo's basically lined up as a linebacker once again. And I don't necessarily like how he takes this block on. You're going to see it that he kind of jumps backwards, and he does a nice job as far as like ripping past this guy. Obviously the play was already stopped, but I don't like the fact that he's jumping backwards, right? Like I want him to use your hands and side sweep or get past this guy, but don't let him push you backwards, right? Because you just gave up 3 yards from where you where you initially made contact with this guard. You're basically just giving up 3 yards, and if that's where you end up making the tackle, right, 3 yards further downfield, if you just kind of wrap up the running back, that's 3 yards extra that are not necessary. So this is a part of his game that he'll have to obviously learn, understand, and I think it will be something that he's going to have to work on. It'll be his biggest Achilles heel, right? He didn't play linebacker. He's converting to linebacker, but he does have a lot of other positive qualities in his game, right? Again, there he is right there, and again, you have to be able to get past that a little bit better, smoother, and a little bit quicker. Now, when you compare that last play to basically how he plays and basically how he gets off of blocks when he's at safety, there's a world of difference. And look at how easily he makes this look, right? Basically, the receiver's going to try to block him, and he gets right past him easily. Like, it's not like the receiver barely gets in his way, right? He just goes right past him. And I noticed that on film, right? When he's trying to take on linemen, it's different. It's not as easy for him. So he will have to understand that part of it. But yeah, and that hit at the end, whew, this is what he's gonna bring, man. You put Tyreek Hill and Divine in a situation where Tyreek's trying to get to the sideline and Divine's right there to clean it up. It's not gonna be good for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's gonna go down before Deablo gets to him, man, because Deablo will put his ass down. Here's another rep. Deablo is playing man-to-man with this tight end here. The tight end's going to motion to the bottom of the screen, which is the right of Deablo, left of the offense. Basically, Deablo has him man-to-man, and I think Deablo does a pretty good job, but there are some concerns with this play specifically. I love how he gets his hands on this guy, right? And I don't know if that's a receiver or a tight end, but the second this guy tries making his cut and tries making his break, and Deablo gets his hands on him, and again, this is not a pass interference because this is about 5 yards. That's a beautiful way to disrupt someone, especially if you're bigger than somebody. But at the same time, the thing that concerns me is he's overplaying this so much to the inside. And it might be a little bit more clear as you guys, I'll talk it through. He plays it so much to the inside that if this guy does cut back to the outside, will Deablo be off balance? Because at a certain point, the receiver kind of does give it like a fake, like I might go this way. And Deablo kind of looks off balance just a second, right about there. But he still gets his hands on the guy and he still disrupts him. Ultimately, it's a good rep, right? Ultimately, it is a good rep. Let's jump forward and get into the next play. This is another great rep. Deablo's playing the strong safety position. He's going to come down and he's going to actually blitz. We'll watch this from the end zone angle because it's clear, but if he's going to blitz, I need to see more from him. And I don't know if it's necessarily a blitz or if he's man-to-man with possibly this running back who looks like he's picking up a block. So maybe because he's picking this guy up, his responsibility is just to come at that point. But this is not a good blitz. Like, all he does is he just goes and he just shoulders number 62. I want to see some moves, man. I want to see you maybe fake that and just try to jump over him, spin over him, or rip past him, right? Do something other than just run right into him. Again, I don't know the responsibility. I don't know every single defensive call. But again, it doesn't look like that would have worked anyways. You're not going to put your helmet into an offensive lineman like Joe Thuney, right, of the Chiefs and expect to get through him like that, right? So again, would like to see a little bit more in that instance. But let's jump forward into the next rep. All right, guys, here's another play. Great play in my opinion. He recognizes it quickly, sees the gap, and he just explodes through it, man. And he shuts this play down before it could go anywhere. Great rep by Deablo. Again, as a running back, you see the 6'3" big dude coming at you. What do you do? And I love the fact that in this play, he understands that there's a corner already to the outside, right? This corner's responsibility is the outside, Deablo's is the inside. And Deablo, when this running back looks to bounce it, he doesn't like turn and start running this way or anything like that. He just stays in his gap. He contains it. He knows what he needs to do. And boom, he just gets in there and makes the tackle, man. I like that. That's a great rep in my opinion. All right, guys, I just talked about the fact that Deablo understands his responsibility when it comes to the run fits. He understands how to play team defense. And I said that it's not so common anymore because it's not, right? And Deablo knows what he's doing, but you're going to see that basically the corner, we'll point it out when we get there. The corner doesn't know what his run fit is, and the corner allows a touchdown on this play. If I'm Deablo, I'm pissed, man. I am pissed because you have this guy dead to rights. Like, there's nowhere for this running back to go. But what the running back does is, and Diablo's right here, and here's the cornerback that messes it up. As a corner, you have to understand your responsibility, man. It's not so common anymore, but you're in a perfect situation. Just stop yourself, man. That's it. Yeah, you got too far upfield. You should have squeezed it down a little bit, but Deablo will clean this up. And as this guy comes in, he's gonna fake it to the inside. And at this point, 22's messed up because you're hooked. You're not going to be able to get back around. And Deablo would have destroyed this guy if he tried going right at Deablo. Someone might say, well, why didn't Deablo jump or whatever or run forward? This is a large gap right here, right? So you're going to have to slow yourself down naturally to be able to make that play. And of course, it is what it is, right? It's not Deablo's fault, it's number 22's fault. Watch it from the backside, it's probably a little bit more clear for you guys to see. That corner messes it up, man. You have to be able to play within the team boxed defense, and 22 doesn't. 17, you know, is probably pissed off, right? He's gonna look at it like, what the hell are you doing? But he gets it, and that's kind of what my thought process is, right? I just wanted to share with you guys that it's not common. Not everybody gets it. 17 does, and I've shown you guys, I think, 3 or 4 plays now that he understands it. He gets it. He knows how to box up defenses. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, and I want to leave you guys with a few final thoughts. Deablo is going to convert to a weak side linebacker once he gets into the NFL for the Raiders, but he right now knows how to play strong safety or free safety. He knows how to play deep. He's used to being able to overpower smaller receivers, running backs, some tight ends. He's going to have to really adjust his game. He's going to really have to understand that offensive linemen are not wide receivers. They're not going to come at you the same way. At the same time, he has to understand the concept that you're now going to be lined up in the box at linebacker, and you really have to contain your run fits, which I'm confident he can, right? He's shown it to me 3, 4, or 5 different times that he gets it. But he's going to have to understand that you're going to also have to put some weight on. You're going to have to get stronger. But at the same time, it's going to be up to Gus Bradley and the Raiders to really put him in position to win, right? You can't expect a young player to come into the NFL and not be put into position. At the end of the day, secondary players specifically are so scheme specific for their success. You look at like Nnamdi Asomugha and the difference between the Raiders and then when he went to the Eagles. You look at like Josh Norman a little bit more recently from when he went from Carolina to like the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team today. And you look at a lot of other scheme-specific players, right? I think we're kind of seeing it with Corey Littleton a little bit as well. Speaking of Corey Littleton, I think Deablo is the Corey Littleton replacement, right? They play the same position. Now, I don't think today is when Deablo is going to start, but I do think that over the next, I'd say, few games and weeks into the season, we'll see where he's at in his development. Over time, especially going into the following season after his rookie year, right? Deablo going into year 2, more is going to be expected at him, man. At a very minimum this year, he needs to at least be able to play 10 to 20% of snaps. He also has to understand that special teams is going to be a big part of what you do. And that's going to be primarily for like development purposes, right? Like transitioning to the speed of the game and those type of things, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys watched the video up to this point, I really appreciate you guys. Leave a comment below so I can keep it fresh. The guys that are watching this video all the way through. It really means a lot. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and smash the subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed. I know a portion of people still watch these videos that are not subscribed. Again, I really appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.